This is the Greenworks 60V 60-inch zero-turn lawnmower. It has that classic, tough-riding mower shape, but the colors are hard to miss. Bright green accents on matte black give it a cool, modern look. The whole mower is huge. It sits low to the ground on chunky tires, has a wide, 60-inch deck that really gives off a professional landscaper vibe, and you can't miss the controls up top. That high back seat looks inviting, especially if you have a big yard and plenty of grass to tackle. Taking a closer look, there's no gas tank or exhaust. The power here is all in 6 big batteries that slide into sturdy trays under the seat. Each battery is about the size of a brick. Instead of an engine roar, you get almost silence, just the gentle whirring of those twin blades when you engage the mower. The LCD display is easy to read and shows things like your battery level, blade speed, and any fault codes if something needs attention. Now, on to my experience. I'll be honest, when I first got this mower, I was a little unsure. Most of my previous mowing was with old-school gas mowers. I wasn't sure if something so quiet and honestly so clean could handle my backyard. For a bit of context, my property is about half an acre. Maybe a little more when you count the rough patches around the edges. The grass here grows fast and thick after a good rain, so I need something reliable, especially when growth gets out of hand. One of the first things I noticed right away was how easy it is to start. There is no pull cord, no gas mixing, no checking oil, just hop on, press a button, and the Greenworks is ready to roll. The lap bar steering was honestly new to me, and I had to get used to turning it left and right instead of using a normal steering wheel. But after a few minutes, it felt totally natural. The ride is smooth, thanks to those fat tires and the low center of gravity. No bouncing around like some high-riding gas mowers I've used in the past. With cutting, the 60-inch deck makes a huge difference. I can clear what used to take forever in less than an hour, usually about 50 minutes with battery to spare. The shoulders and knees aren't screaming at me midway through like before, and I can easily stripe my yard to look like one of those fancy sports fields. Even tall, dry grass wasn't a problem for the mower. I was actually surprised the first time I tried it after skipping a week and was expecting some struggles. Nope, the blades just powered through. The controls are definitely user-friendly. I like how everything is clear and within reach. You get an 8-step height adjustment right next to your seat. So if you want to keep the grass super short or a bit longer, just pull the lever. That LCD screen I mentioned is simple but helpful. I check my battery level before I even get off the seat. Maintenance-wise, it couldn't be easier. No oil to change, no belts to worry about, no filters or spark plugs. Just a quick rinse under the deck and a blast of compressed air around the battery trays. Key features that stand out for me include that battery power. I was skeptical about runtime, but with the included 6 batteries, I get about an hour of mowing, which is more than enough for my yard, and definitely good for bigger lots. Could probably cover up to 2 to 3 acres if you keep a brisk pace. Charging time is solid. If you run the batteries all the way down, they charge up in under 90 minutes with the wall charger. While the battery packs are heavy, I appreciate being able to use them in other Greenworks tools, like my trimmer and chainsaw. It saves money and space, not having to store different chargers or keep extra gas around. Another thing I love is just how quiet it is. When mowing early on Saturday mornings, I don't stress about waking up the neighbors. Most of what you hear is just the wind off the blades and a little hum from the motors. There are some handy touches too, like a built-in cargo bed on the back, a hitch for towing, and bright LED lights if you get stuck mowing later in the evening. I can throw my rake or a bag of mulch in the back and pull it along. Really helpful for cleanup. Now, to cover the things I don't like as much. First of all, there's no onboard charger, so when it's time to charge up, I have to pull all 6 batteries out and take them to the garage charger or to wherever I stash the charging station. It's not a deal breaker for me, but it does mean 2 or 3 extra trips every time the batteries are empty. Also, the charging station is kind of bulky. You need a decent amount of bench space and ideally 2 separate power circuits if you want to charge everything as fast as possible. It's not a huge hassle. but it's something to plan for if you're tight on outlets. The seat area can feel a bit cramped if you're tall. I'm not above average, but I still have to duck under the handbars to get to the seat, and my knees do brush up against the dash sometimes. If you're well over 6 feet, the fit might take some getting used to. And then there's hills. The Greenworks does pretty well on my rolling property, but I notice the traction starts to fade when I try to mow up anything much steeper than about 15 degrees. Wet grass especially can make the deck stall, so if you have a lot of slope, you'll want to keep an eye on that.